Yeah, in this video we are starting a JavaScript. Okay. To start writing a JavaScript, you start. Let's create our project folder. New folder. Let me call it. Let me call it JavaScript. Let me say JavaScript. JavaScript projects. Projects. Okay. JavaScript projects. We use input as JavaScript projects. Okay. So inside this our directory now, this you can call it folder or directory. So we'll now open it with VS Code. So open with VS Code. Okay. It's taking a little bit time to load. Okay. Let's give it time. My system is a little bit slow, so let's give it time to load. Okay. You can see the name of our project folder that we created. This you can see the name here, JavaScript project. You can see it. So we are inside the folder now. So anything we are creating, like any file we are creating now, will be stored inside our JavaScript inside our JavaScript. Okay. So the first thing I want to say about this our JavaScript is that this is kind of a quick intro to JavaScript. Okay. And mostly I'm talking about kind of JavaScript writing or writing JavaScript code, where we should write our JavaScript code in HTML or where we should write it. So first of all, this is my Visual Studio Code. Okay. So to write a JavaScript, let me create a simple HTML file, because most of the time we'll be using some of them in HTML, most of them in HTML. Sometimes, let me say index.html, index.html, HTML. Okay. So inside index.html, it's still loading. Why is this thing so slow? It's a little bit slow. So let's just give it a time to load. It's so slow. Let me widen this screen. Okay, I think it's loaded. Okay. So inside this our HTML, we'll create a simple HTML what's it called, structure. My mnet is so slow. What is happening? Let me see. Okay, let me try again. I'm coming. Yeah, it's not responding. So inside this our HTML, where we should write our JavaScript is inside our script tag. If you want to write it inside the HTML, you write it inside the HTML script file, element, which is this. This is the script. So anything you are writing now, the HTML this HTML will be seeing it as a JavaScript. You can use something. You can say something like, let me use create like a simple JavaScript. You can say var a. Let me say var a is equal to, let's say, 3. You can see it's now highlighting, showing that this is a script, JavaScript. Okay. You can actually type here, say something like a type. You can say type, say JavaScript. You can say some, but not. It's not really necessary. Sometimes it's normally interfere. But just leave it this way, because by default is a JavaScript. Okay, so the next way, another way you can add JavaScript to your HTML is to create another file, which is external JavaScript. Okay, to do that, you just write your, let's say, index.js. Use JS extension. Okay, in creating the JavaScript. Okay, so to connect it to your to connect it to our to connect it to our HTML, what we have to do is come to this place. Inside this, let me clean this our internal this script. Just say script source, this one. Just type script inside the first opening tag. You use an attribute of source, and then put your source. Just the way we add the CSS to our HTML is the way you can add it through this source. Just type in dot backward slash. It will list out your content. You select the one you want to connect. You connect, which is index.html. You can select that. So the external JavaScript is now linked to our HTML. So anything I'm writing here now, it seems as if you are writing it here, so it will be external. So it is more advisable that to use external JavaScript, especially when multiple pages are using the same JavaScript instructions. Okay, it's better you use external JavaScript so that they will always refer to it. Okay. So having said that, another I want to talk about in writing this JavaScript is you don't add, if you are using even if the way it is like this script now, JavaScript, this script element, you don't write it before the header. You can add it there, it doesn't mean, but there's some code that you write, you can add it, you can add this sentence before in the header tag, but the problem is that it will just load before the element will load, before the whole body element will load. And sometimes if you're having some code like event listener, it will not run, that code will not run because the body have not loaded. It will just run before, it will just load before the body is supposed to load before the event listener will load. So something like that is not always advisable to use your script in header, but if you put it initially to work on some places, it will definitely work with, like declaring variable, displaying, it might work, but there are some places that you will, like that event listener is one of them, and there's so many of them. So but event listener is the one that is mostly known. If you add your JavaScript in the header before the body, your event listener will never run. It will never run. It will not run. Okay. Having said that, I think this is the a quick intro to JavaScript and how to place our where to write our JavaScripts. Okay, and in HTML. Okay, so first of all, what I said, we can use it, we can write it inside the our script elements, or we can write it in our external JavaScript file and then link it to our script file using um, source attributes to connect the external file. Okay, so that is it for this JavaScript, how to write, just writing of JavaScript in just writing of JavaScript with HTML, something like that. Okay, this is just a quick intro. Okay, so having said that, hope you enjoyed this quick intro. See you in the next ones.